Okay, so we've talked a lot about going into the community and talking to people. There are effective ways and very ineffective ways to do this, so we're going to talk about this for a minute. First thing you want to do when you go into a community is you want to let your community partner know that you're their ally, that you're not there to change their world, you're not there to impose yourself, you're there to ask questions. This is crucial. A lot of people go into a community and feel as if they have to be expert. What you need to be expert about is having questions. So the first thing to do before you show up for an interview is do your research and ask questions. Make an exhaustive list of questions. There is no substitute for showing up with curiosity. So when you come to an interview with a partner, you have to have curiosity about what they're doing, your job, and people will want to tell their story. People are making change in the world and working in the world. They want to talk about what they're doing. They're happy to, most people will be happy to talk to you. But you don't want to be the expert, you want to be a question asker. So, Aaron, what do you guys do here? What happens here? What happens in this world here? I'm so curious. I know you work with youth and you teach and you have programs, but how does it work?
So really what we do is we try to create opportunities for students to either start their own community-based projects, or we help them figure out how they can find their own independence and leadership through lots of different ways, through your program, for instance, but also through classes like Engage Liberal Arts and Science classes, through volunteer opportunities, through conferences, many of them student-led, through our Global Fellows program. We have lots of interesting things going on here.
Can you tell me about one of them and one way you're involved?
So we have something called Election at Bard, which is a student voter engagement program that is student-led but overseen by the Center for Civic Engagement here in the New York campus. And we have 2 student leaders who then have a team of volunteers that have students we have something called Election at Bard, which is a fun voter engagement program that is led by 2 student leaders with a team of volunteers to do both voter registration and voter engagement around issues. Not only do we do voter registration for all incoming students or re-registering voters who move off campus, but we also help voters engage with the issues that they really care about so that we have a practice of voter engagement by the time students graduate.
I did some research on elections at Bard, and I noticed that you're also involved in policy and polling places and transportation, and this seems like it's a lot for 2 students to...
Well, that's where their team of volunteers come in handy, and I'm guessing that whatever your idea is to help us manage those volunteers, there's lots of ways. You know, Election at Bard was something that didn't exist about 10 years ago, and students started to have ideas, and they came to us, and they said, here, we see this gap, we see something that's maybe missing, can we help? And that's how we sort of developed the project along. And then we ended up organizing a community partnership with a national organization called the Andrew Goodman Organization, and they helped with some funding, and so that then expanded the program. So we've had different people come in with their ideas to help us grow the program so that those logistical complications and then the issue-based questions that come up around voter engagement were more easily addressed.